going to go out on a limb today and guess that some of you might be thinking, how tall is that woman? Right? Did she play basketball or volleyball? And if she didn't, what an incredible waste of height. I started playing when I was in the 4th grade. And this is my shirt from that team. My 8th grade team went 36-1, and my high school team won 4 consecutive New York State championships. Well, it's okay. From a very early age, I had the opportunity to learn the power of teams. So I couldn't have imagined back then as a kid just how much being part of a team would go on to impact my life, or how my adult self would identify it as the missing piece desperately needed by a group of young women today. So back then, I loved the game of basketball. I wanted to play for as long as I could, and I was incredibly fortunate to receive scholarship offers to play in college. I spent the weekend with this incredible team and coaches and decided that the dark blue school, with the D, Duke University would be the best place for me. I was absolutely thrilled when I arrived campus and got to reconnect with my coaches and teammates and start this incredibly new journey and chapter in my life, both athletically and academically. And then those classes started. My first was freshman writing, my second, calculus, and my third, American history. And by that point in time, I was completely overwhelmed. I was a good student in high school, but obviously the jump to a top 10 academic university was a mistake for me. I had never felt so out of place. After about 2 months, I felt like I lost most of my confidence. I felt defeated. I wanted to call home and talk to my family, but I just didn't want to disappoint them. And I thought about talking to my coaches, but then I was afraid that they would think they made a mistake in recruiting me. And I was absolutely certain that my high school friends were doing just fine at their schools. But I had to do something, so I took a risk. And one night after practice, I asked a few of my teammates, some incredible women that I looked up to, if they would stay and speak with me. And they stayed, and I shared with them that I felt like an imposter in the classroom, that I would never do well here academically. And they listened so intently. And when I was finished, the first teammate said, "Sue, I felt the same exact way when I was a freshman." And the second said, "Sue, it's a really hard school to get into, but once you're here, you're going to do just fine." And the third challenged me to think that maybe, just maybe, some of my classmates were posturing, and they felt the same insecurities that I did. My teammates listened, they heard me, and they validated my feelings. I felt like a 1,000-pound weight had just come off my back. My team transformed my perspective. That transformation laid the groundwork and the philosophy that working together was so much better than working by yourself. And doing this as a collective effort where you could experience your emotions and your experiences were going to be so much better together than by yourself. And this mindset was ingrained in me through so many years of sports, and it carried over into the classroom, and it really helped guide my career, particularly when I took on a consulting project at Duke about 4 years ago. Department leadership wanted to understand why more than half of the women who started off in computer science were quitting after just 1 or 2 classes. And before the end of their sophomore year, women were deciding that computer science was not for them. The technology industry was growing. The job opportunities were at an all-time high. Why were these women turning away from something that they loved and when that would give them such incredible skills to move forward? So I started talking with women, and they were incredible. They shared an absolute love and passion for building and creating things, for solving puzzles, finding the ideal solutions for problems. And for a lot of these women, they took computer science and engineering in high school. For others, they were just getting started in college. But they were all academic superstars and excited to start. The conversation took a turn when those students started to talk about the fact that things changed quite a bit when they got to college. They started to talk about feelings of isolation, fear, and doubt. And their male classmates, well, they loved technology and they loved gaming, and it just added insult to injury. And it made the women feel like imposters. Now, some important numbers I want to share. 18%. This is the national representation of women who graduate with a degree in computer science. 14 years. This is the consecutive number of years that this graduation rate has been this low. And 700,000. This is the number of tech jobs currently open in the US today. 700,000 jobs are open, and those numbers just keep climbing. So I knew we had to do something very different. These women were losing their confidence. For many, they were losing their confidence for the very first time in their lives. And we really needed to change that. We really needed new solutions to be able to keep the women in college and retain them, and also grow the number of women in tech so that we could help fill that tech talent pipeline. When the women told me that they were about to quit because of fear, doubt, and isolation, I was blown away. I couldn't believe it. These were incredibly talented women. So, my answer to this problem was that women in tech needed a team. They needed a network of like-minded students who would come together in college, form community, and have it for years to come, just as I did when I was interacting with my teammates for all these years, going back as far as the 4th grade. So in January of 2017, I created Rewriting the Code. Rewriting the Code's mission would be to create a national team of college women in tech. It didn't matter where you were from, where you went to school. If you were a student in her 1st through 4th year of college, pursuing a major in technology or classwork, you were welcome. You would be heard, validated, and inspired. You would be part of a team. So to get started, we enlisted the help of computer science professors so that they could help share our vision with their students. And then our students started to share this opportunity with their vast networks. And the numbers started to grow. There was strength in numbers and in women sharing their experiences. And for the first time in many of the women's lives, they were getting the type of support that would allow them to absolutely thrive. 12 months after we launched this national team, there were over 1,000 women from 150 colleges in the community. And now today, 3 years later, we have over 4,500 women from 420 colleges participating in the community, and to our surprise, a growing population of international women. So we now have representation from an additional 40 countries. The women are the heart and soul of what has become an international team. There is always someone out there to talk to ask for advice, to just listen if that's what you need. And these women are doing incredible things. So today, Rewriting the Code has assembled even more teams to go beyond the student population and helping the students. We have coaches and mentors, tech companies, and alumni. So our coaches and mentors are able to share their experiences and talk with the women about what they wish they knew when they were in college. And our tech company partners have such an incredible opportunity to pull back that curtain and show the women what it's like inside the company. What is the culture like? What are the career paths? Can they interface with other female engineers? And our alumni, particularly our young alumni, they tell it the way it is. They share their experiences with these students. And the alumni have done a phenomenal job. They have absolutely gone above and beyond in creating a second very important team. And that's one that helps the women with their transition from college to the workplace. The women come together, they find friends in new cities, they help navigate the tech landscape that they're working in, and perhaps most importantly, they become mentors and inspire the women that they pull up behind them. One of the things that we're most proud of are the women who have gone through our program who have graduated and gone on to their tech careers. 200 women in the class of 2018. That number rose to 765 in the class of 2019. And in 2020, we anticipate that we will have over 1,300 women graduate and enter tech. I would like to introduce you to 3 of the women that are in our community today. We're going to start with Cheryl. Cheryl is graduating this month in December, an entire semester early from a little school called Carnegie Mellon. And she's going to start her tech career in Seattle this coming summer. And Cassidy. So Cassidy goes to that other school with the lighter blue in that direction, UNC, where she is graduating with a computer science major and a minor in music. And she'll be heading to New York to start her position with a company that she deems her dream company. And finally, Priyanka. Priyanka is from the Bay Area. She goes to Harvey Mudd College. And Priyanka has interned over the last 4 summers with 4 of the premier tech companies in Silicon Valley. Priyanka doesn't know what she's doing yet because she's juggling between a half-dozen offers. So just as how my team inspired me and transformed my perspective so many years ago, rewriting the code teams are doing the very same thing. They're transforming the perspective of women in tech. Thank you.